Hey y'all. I don't even know why I'm sitting here letting my car just run. Y'all know gas is like, well, it don't went down, which is really good. But anyway, so I was debating if I should record while I'm sitting here or not. I am like just getting like an hour to myself right now because I have not had a break. I'm not, y'all, I'm just not intentional about really getting time to myself. And I guess it's like a mom guilt, wife guilt type of situation. But I got to get out of that because if I don't get out of my house and just take time to breathe, y'all, I notice that I begin to like be scatterbrained. I don't function properly. I'm always tired. And it's been like that a lot lately, especially this past like 2 weeks. It's just been a lot going on. Whew. The past 2 weeks has been very interesting. And you know what? I just had this realization that I think the first wait, no, we're on the third week of school now, new school year. So the first week of school, I got sick. Second week, last week, my husband got sick. And last year around this time in August, we were sick, like really sick. And I was like 6 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant, somewhere around that. Yeah, about 6 months pregnant. And I do believe that me and my husband had caught COVID, but it was bad, y'all. It was bad. Um, so those are the things, y'all, we got to pay attention to. But not just that, like, I thank God it wasn't as worse as it was. But anyway, these past 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks have been a lot. And I think I'm just now sitting to really recoup. And I'm trying to learn to, like, when I get like this and I'm like, I feel really stressed out, I'm tired, like my face been breaking out, like I know something is going on, y'all, because I usually have skin popping all the time. So I think my skin is starting to feel the stress of like just a lot of stuff going on. Y'all, it's so much going on. Oh my gosh. So I just came out and sat in my car, and it's like I want to do so much, but I can't. Like my mind, my brain just cannot handle doing anything. Like I wanted to bring my notepad to journal because I started journaling last night. I haven't journaled in a long time, and that used to be my outlet. So I started journaling last night, and when I started writing, I felt like I had so much to pour out on the pages. But I started journaling when the kids were like, we just had finished dinner, bathed, and it was time to get them down for bed. So I started while they were at the table. And there's just a lot of commotion going on and stuff like that. And so I stopped. So I still have a lot of that in my head. I didn't pause today to journal. So it's just been a lot, y'all. And I'm trying to I know it's time for me to like establish a routine again, like a morning routine, because I was just like, since Ava's been born, she's about to be 8 months in like 2 days. Yep. And so now I'm feeling like she's been sleeping through the night for a long time, for a few months now, because all my children tend to start sleeping through the night fairly early, which is a blessing. Um, and I'm just struggling to get up early, and I'm really trying to give myself grace because I think what I'm trying to do is like implement the way that I used to do things. And I like, y'all, I'm really trying to retrain my mindset in my brain to be like, okay, Crystal, you're not in that part of your life anymore, so you cannot implement that same routine. You don't live in Florida anymore. The dynamics are not the same. You have another child. Um, Schedules are different. So I was just telling my husband this today. Just a couple hours ago, we were talking, and he was talking about how, he wants to, like, health wise. So he wants to implement certain things, but he says it's hard or it's challenging now because um I forgot what he said, but he was pretty much saying like how he used to do things, and it's true. Like, he would, when he wanted to lose some weight, he could just he knew what to do when we were living back in Florida, or in our last environment, I would say it like that. So he knew what to do, but then I had like this aha moment, and um I'm in this season where it's like, Crystal, you can't do the same things the same. Like, if you're doing the same thing, you got to do it a new way. There's a new way to do it. So I was telling him, I was like, okay, but our dynamics were different when you knew, like, when you could just easily drop a couple pounds when you felt yourself picking up weight. Our dynamics were different. Your work schedule was different, because he was working at night and not during the day. And so I was telling him, I was like, so at night and you're working, you're not going to eat as much as you would if you're out during the day and you're working. Like, so he was up at night, sleeping during the day, so his eating habits were different. So that's why it was really easy for him to implement a few things and drop a few pounds. But now it's been challenging for him. And I told him, I was like, you got to think about the fact that everything is different. You don't work that same schedule. Y'all, he's like, just, there's a lot of change and transition happening right now. So, and decisions that need to be made, and it's a little bit stressful. So, stress eating, like, bad habits and stuff like that. So I told him, I was like, you can't try to do it the same way because you're not living the same way. Your schedule is not the same. You got a whole nother child too. We live in a totally different state, which I think we're still adapting to. After being here a year and a half, we're still adapting. Like, it's a lot that came at us in the last year and a half. It's just change. And so when you try to bring old habits into new things, you try to bring old ways or old habits, old routines, old thinking into something new, it's not going to work, because it's like you're trying to fit I don't know, what can I use that as an example? It's like you're trying to fit that's too dramatic, but it's like you're trying to fit it's like you're trying to put a pot in the microwave. I don't know, and that don't make sense, right? Because who have you heard of that puts a pot in a microwave to heat up food? It's kind of like that. It's like, that's not what goes in the microwave. The pot goes on the stove, like, so that is where we both are at, and it's challenging, y'all. Like, it's like a whole cleansing, purging situation that has to happen. So y'all, I'm trying to keep myself up and strong, but mentally, I think I've been trying to be strong for everybody in the house these past 2 weeks, and so it's starting to weigh down on me, and I'm feeling it. And so, yeah, so it was just an aha moment for me, even though this is already what I've been experiencing for the past few months. Is like, okay, old doesn't look like new. So I cannot bring the old things, the old ways, like the old ways of being a mother, a wife, a business owner, my routines, my habits, my mindset, all of the old things I cannot bring into new. And that's just how we grow. And growth is challenging because you have to change, and change is hard. And I'm not going to say that nobody wants to change, because everybody has a desire to change. It's the action part of it that makes it really hard. And that's where I am. So, it's just a very interesting time of my life right now. And I know I will get through it because I've been here before. And I'm just exhausted in every way possible. Like, mentally, emotionally, physically, as a mother, as a wife, as a business owner. I'm just exhausted, So, I'm giving myself grace. I'm praying, but I'm also like, okay, Krista, you can't stay here though. You're exhausted. You have to give yourself time to feel this and keep going, because I can't be exhausted and then fall into the exhaustion and begin to allow things to set in, and then I kind of stay here and coast. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm exhausted, but I want to I'm exhausted because of the growth, like the growth is happening. And that's just how it's going to be. That's just how it's going to be. So, yeah, it's like I don't have the strength to do anything. I'm like, so many things are changing, and I just want to be first obedient. Doesn't matter how it feels. I want to be obedient to God in the way that He is leading me to go, because my trust is in Him. Oh, see, like right now, my husband's like, we need fresh salsa for the kids, tacos, or buy something. And then I know he's going to call me in a little bit. We're also trying to implement this routine at home, because I feel like even right now, my house is like, not chaos, but just, there's a lot of things that are not in order in my home with my children. That's how you know things has to change. Like, there's like new things have to happen, because my kids are getting older, plus it's 5 of them now, and we got the baby, and they're still they're going through the same things me and my husband are going through. Everybody's going through change. And so, some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish my mom was 15 minutes down the road still, but they're not. They're 6 hours away. But that was my choice, because man, do I miss being able to drop them off, or my mom or dad coming to pick them up and taking them over to the house, but it's like, oh, I need that. I really do. But that's not my life anymore, so I can't dwell on that anymore. And it's like, if I need time to myself, now I have to implement something new, instead of dwelling on the fact that I wish, and then the thoughts are turning, why did I move? Oh my gosh, so I can't allow this new thing that's happening in my life to like sabotage me either, if you get it. So even my kids are like, I want to go to Nana house. Let's go to Nana house. And I'm like, y'all, it's a long drive. Y'all know that. We just went twice over the summer. It's a long drive. We went in June and we went in July. And that was a lot. It's just a lot going on. And I'm just like, oh, I'm exhausted. And honestly, I don't know what to do. I'm not going to say I don't know what to do, but I know that I need to implement, like, I need to focus on my health a little bit more during this time. And then I need to focus on my health a little bit more during this time. I need to stop drinking so much coffee. And like, my eating habits need to change. Oh, y'all, it's just a lot. But I only could do one thing at a time, and I'm telling myself that, like, Crystal, one thing at a time. Like, I could not try to implement so many things at a time. So I was just in this bookstore, And I seen the book Tiny Habits. And I have that at home. I bought it last year and I need to pull it out because the problem with change is that, and growth is that, we want to make like really big leaps, and that's not how it works. Like, I was just reading a scripture where it says, "Don't despise small beginnings," and I actually read the whole chapter. I think it's Zechariah. I think it's Zechariah. And that script, I really wanted to get the context of the scripture because the other morning when I was outside drinking my coffee, I always go outside and just kind of stand out there and take some time. And that verse came in my mind, so I know it's God. And these are like the small beginnings. And sometimes you get exhausted because you may constantly feel like you're going through the small beginnings, or you're repeating, or you're starting over and over and over. And it's like, ugh. And for me, I was always starting over, but I wasn't seeing the lesson in starting over all the time. Because when I start over, I would be doing the same thing, but I would be trying to do it the same way. And so this time around, like, I'm just being completely honest and transparent with myself, and like, starting over sucks. And I have that video, like, I posted a couple weeks ago, so go watch that. But I did a video saying starting over sucks. Why? It's not because it sucks in a way where, like, I don't know, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this no more. But starting over sucks in a way where when you're changing and you're growing, um, you have to have the strength, the mentality, the mindset to keep going through the start over process. Because usually, oh, what book was I reading that I did not finish? The 12-week year. There's a chapter in that book that talks about the different phase, like 5 different phases of growth or something like that. And the first phase is like the excitement, and then the next phase, I'm just quoting it in my own words, the next phase is like that phase where people drop off because you're excited when you start and it feels all good, but then the growth starts to happen. And then when you get to this next phase of growth, I think that's what it's, the phases of growth, um you get really uncomfortable, you get frustrated and stressed and fearful, and oh, things are not working, so you quit. And it says that most people don't make it through that second phase. Like, they, oh y'all, I love these little birds. I'm sorry, y'all, my I'm sorry, but these little birds, and my Serenity, she loves to see the birds outside. That's my 2-year old. So anytime I see these little birds sitting out here, I'm just like, oh, my Rennie, she loves birds. But a lot of people don't make it through that second phase of growth. So I quickly realized just recently that I was getting to phase 2, and that's when I would quit. And so that's why starting over becomes more and more exhausting. Like, because you start, you stop, you start, you stop, you start, you stop. So I'm like, Crystal, girl, we finna push through this. No matter how it feels, God got you, but you also have to do what you need to do. So that is just where I am. So I'm about to run out of time on this phone, and I don't have time to be trying to go through, delete videos and pictures and stuff like that. But this is just where I am, and I just wanted to share because I'm exhausted. And that's just where I am. I'm trying to grow businesses, my marriage is in a restoration phase. My parenting, my mothering is in a restoration phase, a growth phase. And it's just time for change, and the change is exhausting me. So I haven't really taken the time to allow myself to rest. And I'm also telling myself, like, God, I trust you because I don't want it to look like it used to look, because that's just not where I am anymore. I'm not that Crystal anymore. And I want to keep growing, but we have to understand that growth looks different for everybody. And if and God has made your life very unique for you. Your journey is yours. It doesn't look like anybody else's. So I'm just like, do what you gotta do, Lord, because I'm tired. That is really where I am, y'all. So I'm just enjoying this little bit of time that out by myself that I have not taken for myself really in the past 2 to 3 months. I need a spa day. I need a massage. I need my lashes done, my toes done. I need my eyebrows done. I'm ready to get my hair redone. Like, I just need a whole self care month, okay? And I'm gonna go to God and be like, Lord, you wanna bless me with that? But anyway, I gotta go. Time running out. Remember to glow. Remember to affirm yourself. Remember to do what makes you happy because you can't pour from an empty cup. Peace.